COVID, whatever, like people are genuinely miserable. And because of social media, people like hate their lives more than they ever did before. Because now, I was talking about this with my friend on the phone earlier. It's like everybody's comparing themselves, bigger dick, that's more famous, that's fucking, whatever the fuck ever, whatever your superficial fucking measurement is, there's gonna be somebody that's gonna beat you. And now every one of those categories is fucking on the internet and everybody's comparing this to this. And it's like, it's creating these women that have this fucking absolutely crazy shit idea of what they deserve. Like what these fucking sixes think they deserve is mind-boggling to me. Because if you take that six and fucking bring her back 20 years and stick her in fucking Idaho, she would think that she maybe deserved the third son of the fucking farmer with the fucked up haircut. You know what I mean? Like maybe if she was lucky. And she'd be happy if that motherfucker brought her to Denny's. Now she wants to do this fucking 6'2", making fucking 7 figures a year. And not only does she want that, she thinks that she deserves that. And one day, one of these fucking guys is going to get drunk and accidentally fuck this girl. And then she's going to compare every single guy that she dates from that point on to that dude. And she's never going to be happy. Yeah. She's going to end up in one of these relationships that I see every fucking day, which is with a guy that she treats like shit, that guy thinks he's never going to get better than her because he's been conditioned with the fact that he just hasn't been getting any pussy, right? And she is like comparing him to this other guy, so she's like legitimately believes that this guy doesn't deserve it. And so like, both of them are not going to be happy. The problem is this is like a formula for like everybody being miserable, and that's what you have today. It's like, did you know that from 2008 2018, like the amount of guys under 30 that have had sex has like gone down like 3x?
Yeah. 1 in 3 men now between 18 to 30 is a virgin or has had sex. It's literally tripled like the amount of guys that aren't getting laid. Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And that was till 2018. I guarantee after 2018,
it's got worse.
Way worse. With COVID, with this OnlyFans bullshit, with all this stuff. It's crazy.
Bro, that fucking debacle, man, bro. Because
we see all the time on the podcast.
We talk about this on the pod, bro, when we bring girls on. And I'm really glad that we can have this discussion with you because here's the thing. You're the one fucking these girls. Let's keep it 1,000, Dan. You're the one fucking these girls. You're the one that the girls are cheating on their boyfriend with. You're the one where they're traveling to California to go see that guy or whatever. You're the guy, or Vegas. So
I know because I've seen it. It's like I never want to be on the fucking wrong side. Man, it's like fuck. I feel honestly I stopped fucking girls that had boyfriends. I just like felt bad about it. Like I didn't call it. I didn't care. But then when I feel like when it got to a point where like they might not have cheated if it wasn't for me, then I felt like a responsibility to like not ruin relationships. Before I was just like, well, shit, if she fucked me, she fuck anybody.
Yeah.
Whatever, like the sooner he finds out she's more, the better. But like now it's a little different. And so yeah, I try not to do that.
That's a good man.
I'm not always successful, but I try.
And I want to say this too, Dan, because what you just said is literally spot on. Because we bring girls on the show, we talk with them, we ask them, what do you want in a man, etc. And all these guys, or all these girls describe a guy in the top 1%, man. And it's because they fucked an athlete before. They fucked a guy like you. They fucked a rapper here, celeb here, whatever, actor here, whatever it is. Like, and it's a girl that's like average, maybe a little bit above average, 5, 6, 7 at the best. And they think, I deserve this guy. Not only do I deserve him for sex, but I deserve him for a relationship. And it totally skins their standards.
Like, that guy's never going to date her. He'll fuck her, maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the problem is, he's still, like, she's still got his phone number.
Bam.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, now, like, 10 years down the line, like, she still might hit him up. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's one of the problems with these girls that have fucked, like, 100, 200 guys. It's like, they've still got all those guys' numbers. You know what I mean? So it's like the likelihood that they cheat when they have all these, like, because I've fucked tons of girls that I'm one of these guys that I'll like repeat.
Come back.
Like,
yeah.
I'll have forgotten what it's like to fuck this chick 2 years later.
Yeah.
Chick, what do I care? Like,
yeah.
So for me, as long as there's been like a period that's passed, it's like fucking a new chick. I don't care. So like, I'll go back all the time. Like, I don't care. So there's plenty of guys, but the problem is these girls have this like Rolodex, all these exes that they can hit up. It's like, man, that's kind of like, it makes it so much more likely for them to cheat. It's also a guy that they've already fucked, so they didn't count it.
Basically, what he's talking about, even he says this about women, right? About their delusion about certain things. There's another video of him talking about him having sex with these women. And also these women that have boyfriends / fiancés / all this stuff, how they just literally text them and they fly over to him. They literally fly over themselves, and like he'll do he'll do crazy things to them that they want him to do to them, and literally lie to like he talks about crazy stuff, man. He talks about women on their phone with their boyfriends and husbands while having sex with them. You know what I mean? Like Dan's literally smashing these
Yeah,
girls.
because I mean, I think they want to, a guy like this. I mean, I think it's mostly just like a fame or like being recognizable, or money as well, because this is what
No,
we talked
it's about
yesterday, just
doing
providing
things
fun,
they
lots of fun.
shouldn't be doing. I think it's about doing things they know they shouldn't be doing, but they want to do it because they shouldn't do it.
Yeah,
And
being naughty, right?
they don't care, yeah, because they have a guy back like I don't know. There's a lot of stories and stuff too about girls once they get the ring, once they're engaged, that anxiety about realizing, because a girl a lot of times when she realizes she's engaged, she she stops she stops the act. A lot of women stop the act, and then they realize they're engaged, and they, especially if they have a date for their wedding, they'll start smashing dudes. They'll start dudes that they just know, have numbers to, meet at parties or whatever,
Yeah,
girls trips. They'll just go and smash these guys because they want to get out of their system, as they call it. The reason they want to get out their systems is because they're marrying a dude that they at all actually want to marry necessarily. They're just doing it because of the fact it's like a social
yeah,
proof for women, that the fact they're engaged slash married on their finger, it shows it to all the other
yeah.
women.
'Cause there's a pressure.
But it's
Yeah,
also,
there's a
it shows other women and to other
pressure.
men that they're worthy of marriage.
There's
Even
a
if they get
like from
divorced,
society, you have to get married.
but even if they get divorced, what happens is they even if they get divorced, what happens is like they can say like they were married. It's not necessarily my fault. The guy was a narcissist.
Today I saw a video about like transgender. It's kind of people that like
Yeah.
they ask. I don't remember the video actually. That's the thing. But because just wasn't recommend. But they basically like a podcast with like the girls and one guy, and he was basically asked like, would you rather fuck like the oldest woman in the world or transgender woman, right? So the woman that became a guy, right? And he said that he would rather have the oldest woman, right? Like Cinderella, because at least she's a woman, and transgender woman is a guy, so he would be gay, right? So he don't want to be a gay. You understand? So
Yeah, she got
so he'd
mad.
rather just she like one girl just got mad at like, oh, you can't say like this, or like this is you didn't meet transgender people, and it's not like that. And it's like it's typical sort of situation. I saw that like the guy is kind of logical and normal about this, right? Rational, because a transgender woman, right, a woman that wants to be a guy, right, is a guy, right? Then let's say with this kind of ideology, right? So if he would fuck her or him, then he will be a gay, right? Because he would fuck a guy, right? Basically. So he was right, and the girl was wrong. This is the kind of example where they cannot just fucking think logically, bro. Again, and I also have seen this time and time again where just women cannot fucking think logically, bro, or just rationally. They just have trouble with this. Or I even work with women, right? And I'm asking her like a specific question to like tell me exactly what to do, right? So I need to do like we need to speak clearly, like what I have to do, right? And she's like, oh, I've mentioned it, in the previous emails, like you can check this, or like I've mentioned a couple of times already, you can check it. I'm like, look, tell me right now, save a fucking 5 minutes, at least for me checking this. Like, why can you tell me, why can you be more direct? At least at work, I understand like you have to be fucking mysterious and like not being fucking direct at dates or whatever, but like at work in this kind of environment, we're trying to get things done. Like at least you can fucking tell me directly, right? And they have a problem with this. This is what I've noticed with women like my age or younger or older, or like with like women my age of my mom, or with my mom. Like it's just fucking like all women all ages have just this fucking difficulty to think straight and normal.
No, I know. It's
This
very
is
hard.
just insane. Like you can't even argue with them, right? Like, how can you argue with them if they don't even have the argument, right? It's like this saying that you can fucking argue with a pigeon, right? Or like play chess with a pigeon, and he'll break all of these fucking figures, and then he'll say if he won, something like that. Yeah, it's similar.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, that's why I don't deal with older girls. I just don't do it. When I mean older, I don't mean 50. Like I mean like 30 and above. I just don't do it, bro. It's not worth it. Like I can't handle it. Even if you talk to a normal person, normal girl, like, dude, it's just.
30 and above, right?
Dude, I had a conversation with one woman yesterday, and I'm like, she's like, you know the difference between me and you? I'm like, no, I know the difference. I'm like, the difference is called accountability. She's like, no, 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 no. It's like we have different life experiences.
Yeah.
You can't know my life experience. I'm like, I don't need to know your life experience. I don't need to do heroin to know not to do heroin. So I told her, I'm like, listen, I don't need to know your life experience. I don't care. It's not about who does it worse. It's about accountability. It's like that's all that matters. Like, you don't have control who you're born to or the circumstances or whatever you're born to. You only have control after, right? This is the same reason why, like, little kids, if they're 2 years old, or the younger the person is, the less they have to be accountable for their actions, right? When you're 2 years old, something happens. If you shit your pants, if you're 2 years old, it's not your fault because you're two. People have a leeway, but if you shit your pants and you're 50, that's your fault. You're not gonna blame the diet that's in your food. You don't have a choice of the food you have to eat, and that's why you shit your pants. You're like a grown human being. Like it's like that with everything.
This is like the women. Like I like what you said, that women have this problem of being accountable, right? Because this is also what Tate was thinking about. That like, if he would have a girl that like breaks someone's car, right, and this was like in an accident, she caused an accident, right, and it was like literally her fault. She would, or like break like someone's guys, right? If I would break your car, let's say, and I was driving it, right, I would sort of be accountable for that. I would say, sorry, I was the one driving it, right? I was the one, seeing, and it was just completely my fault, and I'm sorry for it, right? I'll try to make it back to you, right? And if the girl was doing it, she would be, oh, the road was, fucking tough, or like there was a storm, or the other guy just came in and I just couldn't see it, it was his fault, or it was your fault because you giving me the car and it fucking didn't like do the fuel functional. She would just try to pinpoint all of the fucking things beside her, just to not like take the accountability for it, right? Or just realize the mistake.
And right? I tell girls this all the time. I even tell this to girls sometimes if I'm seeing them for a while and I'm talking to them and I'm like, wondering like, do they have any friends that are girls? And she's like, no, I really don't have any friends that are girls because I hate being around girls and they just cause drama and they just, cause problems. And I'm like, listening to this. So the next time she does something, I'm like, listen, you just said you don't have girls that you're friends with because of what you said to me before. How do you think it feels like to be someone that you have to, regardless, to deal with girls? Imagine you have to marry a girl. You know what I mean? It just goes over their head. Like, even if I say that, I'm like, imagine you're a girl. Imagine you're someone that needs to marry another woman. What would you do if you can't even have friends that are girls? Imagine you being married to one for the rest of your life. It's a concept that they can't understand. It's the same concept that a woman can't understand how it feels, for instance, to find out that their children aren't theirs, that they've been raising. That their husband lied and the children aren't theirs. She's been raising 1, 2, 3 kids that isn't biologically hers. She doesn't know what that feels like. That's why they don't care. Because they have a certain parameter, right? They're like, I want to be married. It doesn't matter which guy. If this guy is good enough, I marry him. But as soon as he's not good enough, divorce, or I break up and I find another guy to marry. Same thing with kids. Like, they don't care if they cheat or not, and they have a kid with another man, because to them, to a lot of women, the more you go to the developed country, the more those women don't find it a problem, because they don't know how it feels like for the kid not to be theirs. It's always theirs. They don't care. You need to figure it out. You should have raised it regardless, even if it wasn't yours and I lied and it wasn't your kid. well, you should erase it just for the fact that you're doing a good deed, even though they're not your kids. Now you don't have a legacy of your own. They're like, well, that's what you should do as a man. And as soon as they say things that you should do as a man, and then you tell them what they should do as a woman, then they get mad because they're like, you can't, you can't. It's not 1950s. They tell you it's not 1950s, but then they want you to be like it's 1950. So
yeah.
So
They're trying to be fucking. They use it when they need it, right? I mean, usually they just want to like independent or whatever, and they're just trying to be, like more independent. And but when they need something, right? When something is fucking broken, right? Then you're the guy, right? So you should fucking fix it. Or like, I don't know how to connect the Wi-Fi, like, or bullshit like this, right? And like, well, you're the man, you should be doing stuff like this, right? So they use this kind of, they understand that, like, as guys, we do these kind of things, right? They're more technical, for example, but they use it only when they need it, right?
I think
They're
it's pretty
sneaky.
bullshit because like things like that are in our eyes simple. They'll say it's our duty to do. But if I'm sitting and I want her, the girl to make food, she's like, I'm not your slave. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.